Well, hey everybody, it's Mike from Profiling Evil, and today I'm going to head back out to the FLDS Polygamous Cult's baby cemetery. It's a quiet patch of ground in the Short Creek community where more than 200 infants were buried without birth certificates, and they were buried without death records. That means there was no official death investigation. But today I'm going to be focusing on how I document and analyze these places using some free software tools on my Macintosh computer, and then how I transfer them seamlessly to my DJI drone. Now, this is a little technical for the drone users out there. Geography always matters when you're studying crime scenes or out in remote locations. So let's see how mapping can help reveal things that words can't alone tell us. So whether you're a drone pilot or an investigator or somebody who's just fascinated by how geography shapes human behavior, this video is going to be for you. So let's walk through the process. Let's build a search mission, and then let's get the drone in the air and fly the baby cemetery. And if you're new here, folks, hit the like and subscribe button and share Profiling Evil with your friends. Now, if you've watched Profiling Evil, you know that I like maps, and I love to map crime scenes with my drone in order to better understand the geography and offender behavior. So today I'm going to show you an easy, free way to plan those Waypoint missions on a solution called WaypointMap.com. And then we're going to export the mission as a KMZ file and push it directly into the DJI drone using a solution called OpenMTP app on the Macintosh computer. Now, there's no Windows emulators, no weird stuff going on. It's just simple steps to get you flying your DJI drone, and I think you're going to really like it. Now, locations can reveal some pretty cool things, like why a predator and a victim might have crossed paths at a particular location, or why an offender might have chosen a specific place to commit the crime. In some cases, like homicide cases, maps can really help us understand why the predator might have selected a certain place to dump the body or to dispose of evidence. It might even help investigators understand what the terrain might say about the planning process, how they plan to access and maybe escape the area. Now, I want to show you a quick and free workflow to upload Waypoint missions to DJI drones using a solution called WaypointMap.com and another application called OpenMTP. Now, both are for the Macintosh. Both are solutions that are free to download. And I want to send a special thanks and a shout out to Jay over at the YouTube channel, Jay's Tech Vault. Go over there and subscribe if you're interested in technology things. This guy is the creator of WaypointMap.com, a website and a place that I'd encourage you to go to if you fly a DJI drone. But let's start by creating a Waypoint mission on a map. And I'm going to just show you my screen as we walk through this. First, we're going to go to WaypointMap.com and sign up for a free account. Now, for those of you who are pros, you're going to want to get the premium account because there is so much more you can do on it. But everything I'm showing you today, you can do for free. This is something that Jay's done for those recreation flyers out there. Now, once you're in, pick the location that you want to fly and start by drawing a polygon over the search area. Now, I'm going to search the infant cemetery along the Utah-Arizona border, where America's most infamous polygamous group, the fundamentalist FLDS, live. This is a place called Short Creek. And after you select the area that you want to fly the drone mission on, you're going to start building this Waypoint mission, starting by filling in the blanks. The first decision after you selected the area that you're going to fly is to decide how you want the software to figure out measurements. You can choose metric or Imperial. And since I'm here in the USA, I'm going to pick Imperial. I want things to show in feet for my measurements. Now the tools in waypointmap.com are very user-friendly, and they're frankly pretty dang intuitive. So the next decision that I have to make is how high I want my drone to fly during the mission. And since I'm looking for some really high-resolution imagery of the baby cemetery, I'm going to fly the drone at 100 feet above ground. Now I'm going to let Waypoint Maps select the speed that my drone's going to travel for this first run. If I find that the gaps are a little too great on the images, I might slow down the drone and fly it again. My goal in this flight, though, is to capture high-resolution imagery of that cemetery so that I can make sure I have a way of doing some change detection, some before and after. I try to fly this cemetery about every 6 to 8 months. Now, we're going to next want to set the gimbal angle on the camera. And because I'm going to be flying directly above the cemetery and I want a really clean map, I'm going to change this to minus 90 degrees. So I'm shooting straight down as the drone is flying. Now, if we were going to create something like a three-dimensional map of the area, something that you could see on my FLDS Baby Cemetery website map, then I'd want to fly the drone with the gimbal angled at about 70 degrees. And then I'd fly a crosshatch pattern, where this one I'm just going to fly back and forth. Now, this amazingly cool software gives me the option of having the software select the distance between each leg of the flight. If I don't like what the software is coming up with, I can adjust it based on my own experience, but usually I've found that the software is right on target. But since I want these images to really overlap with each other, I'm going to change it down from this default down to about 25 feet so that I have a cleaner, more accurate image overall when I stitch all these pictures together. Now this is going to increase the number of images that the camera and the drone are going to take during the flight, and it's going to require some additional flight time, but I want to err on the side of caution. And that's it. We've created what we need. It's time to generate the mission, and that's simply done by clicking on this big old large green button. But here's a quick tip. There's one more choice that waypointmap.com gives you that I think is really important, and I don't know why it's down further on the page, but as I scroll down here, you're going to see it. It's something that determines the drone's activity after it's completed the flight mission. Now, the choice is whether you want the drone to just stop after that last photograph's taken and hover in place, or you want it to return to home, or the original takeoff point. For some reason, again, this is down on the page, but I like to get this in. And I like having the drone return because I also like hearing on the DJI controller the drone announcing that it's completed the mission and that it's heading back to the takeoff point. So with all this information entered in, we're going to simply click the Generate button, and we're going to save that created KMZ file to our Macintosh desktop. Now, you're going to be using the file in just a moment, so before you close the waypoint.com web page, name the mission and save it in case you want to go back for use of it later down the road.
Hey folks, it's Jennifer, an AI voice from Profiling Evil. I want to invite you to watch one of the most haunting investigations Mike's ever done. His exploration into the fundamental polygamist group known as the FLDS and their mysterious baby cemetery in Short Creek along the Utah-Arizona border. Hidden away for nearly 70 years, this cemetery holds the untold stories of more than 200 infants, children who never had birth certificates and never received a state investigation into their untimely deaths. Many of these infants only have baby etched in a rock as a grave marker. In this video, Profiling Evil uncovers more about this special yet mysterious resting spot of children who never had proper medical care and never had their stories told. It's a look into the shadows of this heartbreaking past, and you can get more information by visiting the Baby Cemetery Story Map, only from Profiling Evil.
Now we have a newly created KMZ mission file on our desktop. And this is where we want to make sure we open up OpenMTP, an app that can be loaded onto your Mac computer. It's free of charge through the App Store. Now, once you open up the app and connect your Mac to the RC2 controller using the appropriate USB cord, you're going to see the data and the folders appear on your Mac screen. This is the dashboard for OpenMTP. The data and the folders that are on the left-hand side of the Mac screen, that OpenMTP screen, are going to be the Mac files. On the right-hand side are the files from your DJI drone. And so it makes it really easy to know which side's left and which side's right because it tells you so. Now this is where OpenMTP makes life easy. All you got to do is follow this pathway exactly as I show you, and you're going to have the best results. In fact, I'm going to put the workflow on the side of the screen while we're talking through it so you can visualize the steps as you watch me go through it. Because we're going to bounce through a number of folders to get to the folder that we need to change, the folder and the file inside of it. So from the folders folder that's shown on the OpenMTP app dashboard, again, that's the right side of the screen, we're going to open up the Android folder. Once we've opened that folder, we're going to go to the data folder and open that folder. And then we're going to go to dji.go.v5 and open up that folder. Now from that point, we're almost there. We're going to open up the files folder and then the Waypoint folder. And it's the Waypoint folder where all the magic's going to happen. Inside that Waypoint folder, you're going to see a folder or a series of folders with long random names of letters and numbers. These are the existing Waypoint missions that have been created either directly from the drone or while you've been flying the drone. And if you don't have a mission on there, you can just go in and quickly create one. And all you got to do is put 1 or 2 waypoints on there. It can be anywhere in the world. It doesn't matter because you're going to replace that file, but it's going to give you a place that saves on the drive so that you can make the changes. So let's watch me do that real quickly out in the field. So what I'm going to do is create a quick waypoint mission right on the RC2 controller for this location. And to do that, I'm going to go into the Waypoint Mission Planner. If you open the map to your current location, all you got to do is push the button and select a point on the map, select a second point, and that's it. Just save the mission. It really doesn't matter where it is, because once you have completed that and you hit the save button, it's going to create a file that you can then go into OpenMTP and transfer the file that you've created in waypointmap.com. So with the Waypoint mission on the drone, we're going to transfer the new mission that we created earlier, the one that we saved to the Macintosh desktop, and we're going to transfer it onto the drone using OpenMTP. Now once you're inside the drone folder with that long name, you're going to see 2 files, an image folder, and you're going to see a KMZ file that also has that long string of letters and numbers in front of it. That long name, that KMZ file, is the one that DJI uses for the planning mission. And this is what we're going to swap out with the newly created file that we've put out on our desktop. So on the drone file, we're going to right-click on the KMZ file and select Rename. Now when the rename prompt comes up, don't change anything, just copy that file name, everything before KMZ. Now watch closely as I do this because it's kind of hard to explain it. But now we're going to go to our desktop and we're going to go onto the Mac and we're going to rename the KMZ file on the desktop of the Mac to the same name that we just copied from that drone folder. It needs to be exactly the same. And now this is where we're going to change out those 2 files. And now this is where we're going to swap out things. So we're going to go back to the drone folder and we're going to take that KMZ file and we're going to delete it off of the drone folder. And then we're going to simply drag and drop the KMZ file from our Macintosh desktop into the folder on the drone where we just deleted the other mission. That's it. You can unplug the DJI controller from the USB cable and power up your drone. And when you open the drone's Waypoint missions, you're going to see your newly uploaded mission, and it's going to have what you created online in waypointmap.com. You will have replaced the old one, and you can go out and fly the mission with confidence. Well, hey folks, I'm out here now ready to fly the drone. We've created everything on waypointmap.com. We've uploaded it to the desktop of my Macintosh, and then we went into OpenMTP where we created that ability to jump from Macintosh over to the DJI controller. Now I'm using the RC2 controller, as you can see here, is I've gone in and I've taken that Waypoint mission that we created, and it's now been converted over to this location where we are right now. So as I go into this, we're going to see now my Waypoint mission. This is in the location where we're located. And now let's fly this thing. We're going to take off. Home point. So, and you can see as the drone's flying, it's capturing images every 7 seconds. And that should give us a pretty comprehensive view of the total cemetery. And there you heard it. It says it's now returning to home. So we're going to see how it does in landing from the exact position that it took off from on the back of my pickup truck here. And again, what a compliment, and thanks so much to Jay at Jay's Tech Vault for creating waypointmap.com. Now he's got some new software coming out that I think you're going to be really excited about when you see that too. So make sure you go over, register for the free account. But if you're a professional, man, make sure that you get the premium account because it is absolutely worth it. So let's watch the drone land and let's call it a day. Well, everything worked well, and here's the imagery that we just flew on the drone. I've stitched it together, and I'm going to use this to show change detection in the cemetery. Perhaps identify some new locations where infants have mysteriously been buried. And if this tutorial helped you, I hope that you'll give it a like and a subscribe. And big thanks to Jay over at waypointmap.com for building this powerful yet free planner. Props also to OpenMTP for making that Mac transfer painless. And please folks, share this tutorial with your drone buddies. And if you like true crime, join us at Profiling Evil. You can get us on YouTube, or you can get us through your favorite audio podcast. Hey, we'll see you soon at the next crime scene.